So, what happens when you mash up that cozy, old world rustic charm with some seriously cutting edge smart tech? Well, today we're going to deconstruct this really fascinating piece of furniture that tries to do exactly that. Yep, it's a smart vanity, and it claims it can solve a problem that, let's be honest, we all face in one of the most important rooms of the house.
But hey, before we can really appreciate what this thing does, we got to get on the same page about the problem it's trying to fix. And it's a dilemma that, well, a lot of us deal with every single morning in the bathroom.
So, let me just ask you this. Think about your bathroom for a sec. When you walk in there, does it feel like this calm, peaceful sanctuary? Or is it just chaos? You know, more of a frantic morning battle station than a place for a quiet routine. And what's crazy is just how universal these headaches are, right? You've got the cluttered countertops. Every bottle and tube is basically at war for a little bit of space. The lighting, it's never, ever quite right. And oh yeah, the classic foggy mirror the second you step out of a hot shower. It's like all these little signs that the space just isn't working for us. Yeah, it's a super familiar struggle, but what if, just what if, there was one piece of furniture designed from the ground up to take on every single one of those problems? All right, let's dive in and see how the source material pitches its big solution. And this slide, wow, it just lays it out perfectly. For every single struggle, there's a direct built-in answer. Those cluttered counters, bam, large capacity storage. That dim, awful lighting, replaced by crisp, adjustable LED light. And that mirror that's always fogged up, it gets hit with a dedicated anti-fog function. It's literally a one-to-one takedown of all those daily bathroom annoyances. The source material actually calls it a revolutionary piece of furniture designed to transform your space into a sanctuary of style and efficiency. So you see, the promise here isn't just, hey, here's a new cabinet. It's way bigger. It's about completely transforming your daily routine. Okay, so that's a big promise. How does it actually pull it off? This is where we get into the fun stuff, the details. Let's really deconstruct this innovation and see what makes it tick. So the whole design really rests on four main ideas. You've got the super techie smart mirror, that unique vintage log look, some seriously practical large capacity storage, and the fact that the sink and vanity are all one integrated piece. We're going to break down each one of these. All right, first up, let's talk about the feature that puts the smart in smart vanity. We're talking about the mirror. And trust me, this is way more than just a piece of glass you look into. It's a full-on interactive tool. So check out how this works. It all starts with these simple touch-sensitive controls. You tap it, and you can adjust the LED light. And not just how bright it is, but a lot of times the color temperature too, so you get that perfect light for whatever you're doing. And then, and this is the game changer, there's that anti-fog function. It means you always have a clear view, no matter how steamy the shower made the room. So it's kind of cool, right? On one hand, you have this super modern, interactive tech. But what's so interesting is that the design then takes this sharp turn to something totally different for its next trick, that timeless vintage log look. This is where the vintage part of the name really comes into play. And the whole goal here, according to the source material, is to create this feeling of warmth and character. It's about taking your bathroom from just a sterile functional box and turning it into a cozy yet sophisticated retreat. It's that mix of rustic and elegant, you know? That's what really makes it stand out from all the super sleek modern stuff out there. Okay, so we've got the cool tech, we've got the style. Now let's talk about what might be the most important feature for our actual day-to-day sanity, the storage. Because let's be real, a calm mind usually starts with a calm, uncluttered space. The source even calls this the ultimate weapon against clutter, so you know it's a huge part of the design. And you know, in the original product description, they used this very specific phrase to really hammer this point home. And that phrase is tumba yashikami. So what in the world does that mean? Well, tumba yashikami is simply Russian for cabinet with drawers. But by using that specific phrase, the design is making a really direct promise. It's saying, hey, this isn't just some empty box. It's a purpose-built machine for organization. It's a dedicated system designed to give you that clutter-free space. And that brings us to the fourth and final feature. And this is the one that really ties it all together. It's the fact that the sink and the vanity are one integrated piece, designed to make everything just flow seamlessly. And the key thing to get here is that this isn't a bunch of separate pieces you have to try and fit together. Nope, it's designed from the start as one cohesive unit.
The sink, the counter, the storage, it all works in harmony to create this single all-in-one grooming station. It just makes your whole routine feel effortless.
So, when you add all that up, the smart tech, the cool style, all that storage, and that seamless design, what you end up with is something that's, well, it's more than just a piece of furniture. The source actually frames it as an upgrade to your entire lifestyle. So let's zoom out and look at the big picture here. And this quote, it really just nails it. The whole argument is that this isn't just something you buy. It's an investment in beauty, functionality, and a more serene home. I mean, it's all about changing the entire feeling of a room you use every single day.
So what's the final takeaway? What does this actually deliver? Well, you get a perfectly lit, fog-free reflection every time. You get that simple, deeply satisfying beauty of a space that's finally organized. And you get a bathroom that pulls off this amazing trick of balancing sophisticated taste with modern convenience. It basically takes all those frustrations we started with and just knocks them down one by one.
And all of this really brings us to one last thought. You know, a piece of furniture like this is part of a much bigger trend, this idea of weaving technology into the most traditional corners of our homes. So it leaves me with this bigger question for you to think about. As our homes get smarter and more connected, what does that idea of a personal sanctuary? What does that truly mean to you?